Hello everyone, and welcome back to Acupuncture's My Life. Now today, I would like to discuss a global problem that exists out there that many individuals are not taking as serious as they should, all right? And this has a lot to do with, believe it or not, belly fat. And it's a subject that I'm going to go to admin about and ask that they put it on all of our social media platforms out there. So if you're not already following us on every social media platform, do so under Acupuncture's My Life. And if you're a Twitter person, you could do Acu_is my life. That's where we're at. And even check out our website at acupuncturesmylife.com. We have a great women's health series running there, plus tons of health information that's beneficial to you. And you can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter. But let me dive into the issue with belly fat. All right, there's so many sinister aspects to belly fat, but people think it's just squeezing the little chunky what have yous on their gut, and I just need to get rid of this, get cosmetic surgery, so forth and so on, and that'll do the job. No, the fat that you need to be concerned about is visceral fat, okay? Because this belly fat that you're interpreting as, I could have taken out of me through cosmetic surgery or just dieting for a few days, that belly fat is super dangerous to your health, but visceral fat is even more dangerous. It's potentially even deadly, and you don't even realize it. But first you have to understand what is visceral fat. Visceral fat is different from subcutaneous fat. See, subcutaneous fat is that jiggly fat that's right under your skin, around the midsection that you can pinch and you can feel it. That tends to be subcutaneous fat and not visceral fat. See, visceral fat surrounds it's in the deep aspects of the abdomen, and it surrounds your stomach, okay? It surrounds the stomach and the liver and, let's say, the intestines. And the more visceral fat that you have, your higher chance of developing certain types of medical issues, okay? You have to understand, the abdomen is it's a major, dangerous place to store fat, okay? That's because, visceral fat increases the production of different types of inflammatory substances in the body, and its proximity, its location, to your vital organs, the heart, the liver, it can deposit toxins in those areas, and you can suffer from super dangerous effects from it. And this is why as more and more people globally are coming to understand that, they're turning to acupuncture. And this is why I'm even seeing an increase of patients at my clinic, because abdominal acupuncture is super awesome for dealing with not just visceral fat or even subcutaneous fat, but just your health overall. Because it has a strong focus, let's say, on your core. And to an acupuncturist, your core consists of your spleen and your stomach. That's responsible for your postnatal chi, or some term it as post-heaven chi. And that's the chi that's derived from the foods and drinks that you eat after birth. Your pre-heaven chi, your kidneys are responsible for that. But your post-heaven chi, your spleen and stomach is responsible for that. So, this is very important, and more people are learning how effective abdominal acupuncture is for your overall health, not even just your fat and so forth and so on. But let's just say visceral fat, you have to understand something. abdominal fat cells are biologically active. Like, you can look at like this glob. I hate to use that term, but this glob of fat as like an endocrine organ or an endocrine gland, because the more visceral fat you have, it functions like an organ or a gland that produces hormones and various types of substances that negatively affect your health, especially inflammatory substances. So this is where and why acupuncture is great, and abdominal acupuncture is great. And I discuss this a lot, on the acupuncturesmylife.com website as well. There's side effects to having too much of this fat. It raises, like, let's say, your risk of serious metabolic disorders, and that includes, like, of course, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver disease, which is a condition where, like, too much of this visceral fat, like, surrounds the liver, and when that happens, toxins build up inside of your body. And when patients come in to my clinic or other acupuncturist clinic, but definitely the Acupuncture's My Life clinic, we tend to notice when we're doing an intake and we're assessing them that there's problems with the liver meridian, and especially the liver organ, and how its natural functions. And to an acupuncturist, the liver is responsible for the smooth flow of qi throughout the body, and that includes this qi eliminates toxins from the body. We notice this, and our job is to remove any stagnation or obstruction, that's been imposed or impugned upon the liver and the liver meridian. You see, you have to understand, in Western physiology, the liver is responsible for, like, clearing the body of toxins and metabolizing the different fats and carbs in which you ingest. And when things begin to stagnate, everything from digestion to your emotions become affected. And although we term it different in the world of acupuncture, our terminology is a bit different. It could be like, let's say, liver qi stagnation. Because your liver qi becomes stagnant, people become angry, irritable, frustrated. There will be discomfort and distension in the hypochondrial region and the epigastric region. This is the same as, like, your liver becoming congested with too much in the way of toxins and its inability to metabolize fats and carbs. But too much, again, of this type of fat is not good for your heart, for your liver, or, like, it increases your risk of diabetes. And also, guess what? You may not even know this excess visceral fat, and I'll call it belly fat. This, again, you have to remember, it's not the same type of fat that you're pinching on the surface and considering it like, the acute fat. Let me go run a couple of miles. The visceral fat, again, like I said, it's the deep fat. The fat that's deep in the abdomen and it surrounds your internal organs, like I said, possibly your heart, your liver, your intestines, and so forth. And it functions as a gland or an organ emitting toxins, inflammatory substances. It can increase your risk of different types of cancers. And it's very important that you understand them. It can increase your risk of colorectal cancer. It can increase your risk of pancreatic cancer. It can increase your risk of breast cancer, especially after menopause, as well as it can increase your risk of uterine cancer. Understand, it has a lot to do with what you eat, how often you eat, how much you sleep, and I speak of this over and over in my podcast, because Acupuncture is My Life is on every podcast platform out there. I discuss the importance of sleep, diet, get into things from an Eastern nutrition perspective, exercise, and being active. You know, we have our bad days, and we'll eat, foods that aren't good for us, but you know what? You want to try and find a way to burn it off, and sometimes you may need a little assistance in having this fat discarded from the body, and that's why you need to see your acupuncturist or even contact Acupuncture is My Life, because that's what we're here for. Many people, when they come into the Acupuncture is My Life clinic, they ask, like, how much belly fat is too much? If you're a female and you have a waistline over, let's say, 31 inches, not good. Not good at all. If you're a male and your belt size, your waistline, is over 37 inches, high risk of various types of cancers as well as metabolic disorders. But guess what? The best way to reduce it, I'll never say, get rid of it, because then everyone will be like, oh my gosh, Dr. Lott said he can totally eradicate fat, belly fat. No, and I don't speak in absolute terms, but you want, and some fat is good. Keep that in mind. We all need fat in our bodies. Okay, the three most important things we need is carbs, fat, and protein. Remember that. Okay, because sometimes people will say, I want to reduce and get rid of cholesterol. No. Your endocrine glands need cholesterol. Okay? Everything in moderation. Too much of anything is no good. Some people will say, I'm only going to eat celery. Celery's good for you, but try living off celery and watch what will happen to you. So just try and stay within those lines. But how can you get rid of it? Acupuncture and exercise. Acupuncture and a proper night's sleep. Acupuncture and an awesome diet. Lastly, acupuncture and remaining active. Now, don't say, all right, he already said exercise. Isn't that being active? Yes, it is. It is. But we don't exercise 24 hours a day. Okay? We do not exercise 24 hours a day. But we can't just exercise and then go sit down for 16 hours. Because you're relatively a sedentary person. You're living a sedentary lifestyle. So you don't want to do that either. Okay? You really, really want to be careful. You want to, if you find yourself at work or whatever the case may be, and you notice you sat for 30 minutes, just get up and take a walk to the bathroom, the water cooler, the kitchen, to someone else's cubicle or office to say, hey, what's up? Take a walk downstairs to your car. You get a lunch break, you get an hour. Everyone should make at least 30 minutes amount of time for their day in the middle of the day. So you can take a little walk outdoors. It doesn't matter what the weather is. This is important. This helps keep the visceral fat within a healthy range. See an acupuncturist. If you're nowhere near an Acupuncture is My Life clinic, or you don't live in New York City, but I have colleagues all over the world, and I refer a lot of individuals. But just simply see your local acupuncturist and talk to them about abdominal acupuncture and its benefits, and they'll explain it to you. Okay? But just pinching around your gut or your waistline and saying, hey, I want to get rid of this fat, I'll just go run, or I'll starve myself for 2 weeks and that's it. You want to be focused on the fat that's deeper than that. And there are specialists that can tell you like how much fat you're carrying, relative even to your BMI, body mass index. But a simple way is measure your waistline. And for women, if it's over 31 inches, you want to look to see an acupuncturist or contact Acupuncture My Life. And follow some of the other recommendations like exercise, proper sleep, staying active, proper diet. And here at Acupuncture My Life, we talk a lot. We speak a lot on Eastern nutrition. So we give great advice on that, and people contact us thanking us all the time. But acupuncture is big for helping individuals. I was going to say something else that wasn't cool. But helping individuals reduce belly fat. And this is why I say over and over, you must make acupuncture part of your life. Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?